people didn't know
There was two of us.
that I existed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So in one of the matches,
Actually, even in our debut match.
yeah,
Right.
but people didn't even know there were two.
It's the Saigon Saga.
When is that? I heard
Saigon Superbikes 2 is September 21st.
Subscribe right now.
How did this all start? It was a long time ago. We were listening to a cover of Enter Sandman by Motorhead. Lemmy, I don't know, you guys know. The late Lemmy was doing a cover.
They wrote songs for Triple H.
Yeah, they wrote songs for Triple H, Motorhead, and
well, not songs for Triple H, but more like they bought the rights to it.
no, I think there were songs that were made specifically for Triple H.
Yeah.
And it started getting recommended on our feed, and we started listening to those songs, and then because it's Triple H, then we got it. Wrestling videos started to come up. Fast forward a little bit, I started playing some of the wrestling video games, and I was like, this looks like doable. So I pulled his head out, and we got on the mats, and we just started. Well, no, we didn't have mats.
We didn't have mats initially.
We had marble floor.
What?
Just a regular apartment room.
Yeah.
Was this before or after Rocky's involvement?
No, this wasn't
This was before Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just wrestling at home. Like
Yeah.
they warned us not to.
Yeah.
Oh, like, and what year was this?
This was
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah.
This is
2015.
ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That is
Yeah.
insane.
November. Yeah. I remember.
Wow.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it again. You know, like we're smarter
I've
now.
fallen on my head a couple times, on my knees, on the floor, and it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
What was the response from your family members and close friends, your teachers at school, in this whole involvement in pro wrestling?
They said it's kind of crazy. Surprisingly, your parents
Initially, yeah, mom and dad were just like, "Oh, it seems you guys are getting some movement in, some
Yeah.
exercise.
That's great.
Just don't get hurt."
Yeah.
Eventually, the dad bought us some judo mats, so that was a
Yeah.
little bit better.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty well received. There wasn't like a massive pushback.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't think he thought it would have become anything.
Yeah.
We didn't think it would become anything.
We were just doing it for fun.
And then, I think it was 2016, so I was in 10th grade, or in 2017, we had, I had a interning English teacher at school.
Mm.
He teaches English, and on one of his exams, basically, one of his practice tests, he wrote a sentence that referenced Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. So Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho was on WWE Raw at the time. And I was like, holy crap, this guy's into wrestling. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I talked to him. I was like, oh man, you're into wrestling? Me too. And he told me, oh, did you know that there's a wrestling club here in Saigon?
This is the Chris Jericho.
Yes, this is the Chris Jericho. So my English teacher put him in his tests.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like
Oh my
an English
gosh.
sentence, you know.
Do you remember what the line was?
No, I don't remember what the line was. It was too long ago.
Wow.
But yeah, so we had been watching wrestling for a while, and then we found out about that there exists a Saigon Pro Wrestling Club.
Yeah.
So I asked my brother and a friend of ours at the time, hey, do you want to go to Saigon Pro Wrestling Club? And at the time, it was in Johnny Jingwing's gym, Ling Fong, in District 7, Nha Be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's where Saigon Pro Wrestling Club used to be.
Yeah.
Wow. It's an interesting part of the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we took a bus ride.
Yeah.
It was like 2 hours, sunny Sunday,
Yeah.
from our place to there.
We were back up a bit. We messaged the page.
Oh yeah, we messaged the page. They're like, yeah, come in for a tryout. At this time, I don't think they've really done a show yet, like
No,
a official
haven't.
one.
Yeah.
So they were just training, and
We got a response from.
yep. So when we showed up, we did some basic stuff.
Yeah.
Cardio towards the end. I was blown up completely.
Yeah.
And they told us at the end of that day, oh, you guys are too young.
Oh, wow.
They didn't want no trouble.
Yeah.
Like,
Finish
legally
high school
speaking.
first,
Yeah.
and then we can meet again.
Yeah.
And that's an eternity from ninth grade, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
3 years.
So
Um,
yeah,
but throughout high school, at the time, Saigon Pro Wrestling Club
SPWC
started doing
shows. Yeah, it was
And this was the mat show era, so we were doing it just on a mat in a
It's a
small dance
dance
studio.
Yeah.
We were lucky to get 100 people. Well, they were lucky because we weren't.
Yeah, we weren't.
We were just
performers,
watchers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got tickets. We went every show.
We went to every show
Yeah.
that Saigon Pro Wrestling Club was doing,
Yeah.
and oh man, it was amazing to get to see that in person in Vietnam.
The energy back then was already quite amazing to
Yes.
experience, even though it was a small crowd in a dance studio. Yeah.
Yep.
So I could see like they saw potential in that for sure. Yeah.
So you went to the shows, and then what was the moment that you guys knew you were able to actually be part of the show? What happened?
When we became old enough, right?
We sort of continued
We
doing our own wrestling
we
at
just
home.
wrestled at home.
We knew at some point we're gonna get in,
Yeah.
like no matter what, and it doesn't matter if we were gonna get in as wrestlers or as any other role, right? And so by the time it was 2019, September 2019, we got into university roughly around that time, and
SPWC had a tryout.
had a
They were
tryout.
opening positions. They were looking for all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
So it could have been commentators, could have been referees,
Yeah.
or wrestlers,
Even like designers,
or like production
anything.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we signed up.
There was a form,
and
and we
wrote, we're gonna do
ticked
everything.
Wow.
Yeah, anything we could get our hands on to get into the business, that's what we did.
The tryout.
Yeah. Well, we got blown up.
That
Even worse.
that was a terribly exhausting day.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
pale by the end of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it rude if I wear these?
No.
No.
I have very
No.
sensitive
It's
eyes.
rude that you don't give us any, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
That's why we only brought
Yeah.
one pair.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll let the audience judge if that's
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So that's incredible. So
Yeah.
the tryout was a key moment
Yes.
in the career.
Yeah.
And how was your tryout experience?
I think
What did we
technique-wise,
do?
so we did a
We
couple
did
of
rolls.
like rolls. We did like some lifts, like
Carry
fireman's
other
carry.
people.
There
There was good old like squats, burpees, push-ups, sit-ups, that kind of stuff. I think it
Yeah.
was burpees, sit-ups, and squats.
Yeah.
Right. And
we
it
didn't
was
do no leapfrogs anymore.
it was 3 sets of 20. I
Yeah.
think that was it.
Mm.
Yeah. But that was like after you had done the other stuff,
Yeah.
Wow.
all the carrying and
Yeah.
rolling and stuff. Yeah.
And all the carrying, we were doing it fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we carried each other.
We had been doing it prior,
Yeah.
so we know how to lift with
Or
proper
we didn't
form.
have like good
Right.
conditioning.
Yeah, we just
Yep.
had poor cardio. Yeah.
So I pretty much died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So incredible. So you guys been part of the show since what year? 2019?
So 2019, we got in and we debuted. Well, I debuted first in 2020, June.
June 2020.
It was at SPWC last shot. Yeah, that was my first show. It was still in the mat show era in dance studio. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys, so now that was 4 years ago. You've had 4 years of, being part of this incredible show. One of the most
Yes.
incredible shows that I've seen in Vietnam. And Adam and I think we can agree that you can't fully appreciate these shows until you go there in person.
No.
You know,
couldn't
and
do it.
You're
it's,
right.
and I've personally, I've never seen a crowd so involved in a show as much as VPW shows. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like literally every single person has a part
Yeah.
in
There's
that show.
nothing quite like it in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does wrestling mean to you guys?
That's
That's
a fantastic
good
question.
Yeah.
For me, one of the aspects that I like most about it is that it combines so many things. You've got the athleticism, the sports, combat sports influence.
Yeah.
You've got theatrics.
Yeah. There's a lot of showmanship.
People want to see people who are larger than life.
Yeah.
right? And compelling arcs of characters that makes them emotional. That's why people keep coming back to see it. There's nothing like professional wrestling, in our opinion, as an art form, because the audience, they get to be in on the performance themselves. If you notice, right, the wrestlers, they feed off of the energy of the audience. They answer the audience. It's not the same as in something like the UFC, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I do want to say, talking about, MMA and UFC and so on, you're starting to see wrestling's influence even on those fronts.
Yes.
Where now it's being marketed with a lot more of the entertainment side of it. It's not just a fight. That's why you've got fighters now learning to talk more rather than, I think the likes of, I think
it's
Conor
kind of
McGregor
like
is a great
wrapping
example.
background to when Muhammad Ali was promoting his boxing matches.
Right.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it's different because the audience is actively participating during an event. Right. And because it happens in real time, you get to see these characters. It's not like a TV show where the sort of time dimension is compressed into whatever the episodes are.
Yeah.
You see these characters grow in real time.
Yeah.
Right? You, the audience, grow with the wrestlers.
And there are stories that go for decades. There's people that grow up with wrestlers across the span of 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how you guys borrow storyline development from professional fights like the UFC, but you just take that and just kind of blow it up.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us about like the story of Venom Shank Twins, and where was that born?
Yeah. Venom Shank.
Right.
Venom Shank. So something you should know about us. We were born in the year of the snake.
Yes.
And to us, the snake is a beautiful creature. People like to think of the snake as
something bad, something
negative characteristics,
malicious. I don't really see it that way. I try to see it as something that's smart.
Yeah. Let's talk about the name Venom Shank.
Yeah, Venom Shank. Okay.
There's two parts to it.
There's the venom.
There's Venom,
Shank.
Shank. So Shank, that's me. He's the venom. And this is how we like to present ourselves in the demeanor and in the fighting style. Shank is kind of a more direct, sadistic, violent. So I like to do striking stuff. I like to kick people. I like to knee people, right?
Elbows.
And it's in my name as well. So Rensho, means sickle heel, right? So I want to liken myself to someone who can kick so well. It's like I'm cutting someone. Yeah. Right. And what about you?
So I'm the venom, and as is my namesake, Dokuga means poison fang, and the idea is I'm gonna kill somebody slowly. I'm more of a grappler, between us, and, I've always been, I just find it to be such a beautiful thing to be able to take somebody out without having to, punch them in the face.
Yeah. Just no blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
Just,
and you give them a chance to respectfully surrender. Right. Yeah. There's no,
Love it.
It's not a, I also understand there's a certain refined nature to striking as well. There can be, but I find that, grappling and specifically submissions is a much more dignified way to go about, a competition. Yeah. And that is my way, right? The venom in Venom Shank.
Great. Last question before we move on to grappling specifically. So what's a key moment of Venom Shank over the last 4 years?
I think
in VPW. Let's hear it.
It would have to have been in 2022. For context, he was wrestling as a singles wrestler prior to this.
Yeah.
The whole time, people didn't know
there was two of us
that I existed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So in one of the matches,
actually, even in our debut match.
Yeah.
We want to take a moment to thank Saigon Superfight's newest sponsor, Ram Muay Thai. Ram Muay Thai offers fitness-oriented training sessions to include Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
Personally, every time I go to Ram, I have a lot of fun training and meet a few new friends.
But people didn't even know there were two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was fighting against another team that had a masked wrestler, Lam Xiu Min. Shout out to him. He's a fantastic tailor for VPW. But unfortunately, he didn't realize that I had one of his masks. So what I did was I stole his mask and I went into the ring and I stood across him and he was looking all confused.
Yeah.
And that gave him the opportunity to ambush him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I took my mask off. I went down and people were just yearning to see who's this long-haired guy under the mask. I took it off.
He
And-
looks the same as me.
The roof went off. The
Wow.
crowd was wild.
Yeah.
I can feel the energy now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was deafening.
That's incredible. I
Yeah.
would love to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's,
I'll show you. We'll send you a clip. Yeah.
wow. I mean, that's, yeah, I'm getting goosebumps sitting here. Wow. Incredible. What was, so what were some of the comments like from the fans afterwards?
I had some fans afterwards. They couldn't believe there were two.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I feel like the audience reaction to how that there were twins and how we were using that to our advantage. Because we are tag wrestlers that are twins. There's not that many twins in wrestling,
Yeah.
but usually twins do go tag wrestling. And so it's something that is very rare, right? If you look at any wrestling promotion, how many twins could you count?
Yeah.
So we are a treat for the audience. They love to see. How are they going to exploit the fact that two people look the same?
Now,
Fantastic.
I will say I don't like the fact that the crowd, they're a little bit hypocritical.
Oh yeah, they eat it up, but then they boo us as if it's a bad thing.
It's like just goody two shoes. They trying to, make us
But
out to be the bad
Don't
guys.
hate the player, hate the
Right.
game.
Yeah.
Right?
Like this is all about being smart. You got to play it tactical.
It's not our
Right.
fault that the referee wasn't looking.
Yeah. Right. Maybe he should do his job. Maybe Rocky should pay him more so that he does his job properly.
But that's just how it is.
Right.
That's just how it is.
So yeah, I personally have there's nothing on my conscience about winning the way we do.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how you guys win in the future,
Yeah.
leveraging this
Yeah.
beautiful advantage
Yeah.
that you have over the other wrestlers. So awesome. So let's talk a little bit about grappling.
For sure.
Right. So what is the role of grappling, in VPW now, and what would you like to see?
Right. Okay.
PPW.
I would like to talk about
Okay,
this
you go
because
first.
It
Yeah.
is something that has been bothering me for the past 5 years, ever since we got into VPW. So as you know, VPW is Vietnam Pro Wrestling. And in my personal opinion, there is not enough wrestling in this company. There's too many people coming in here treating this place like nothing but it's like a cage fight without a cage. Okay?
Mhm.
There's a lot of striking, there's a lot of kicking, maybe a couple of slams. It's like, okay, I can kind of enjoy that. But where is all the technical work? Where is the refined aspect of our sport? Right?
They're just brutes.
They're just
Brutes trying to hurt each
Yeah.
other for no reason.
There's no sense, there's no rhyme or reason. Okay?
Now,
And-
admittedly, some of them are pretty good at it,
Yeah.
but I think there's a certain lack of quality.
There's a complacency
Yeah.
in our crew of wrestlers in the skills that they bear for this sport. And I think, we need to push for more grappling in VPW. Right.
Fantastic. So what is recently we had a grappling
We did.
Yes.
practice, and tell us how'd that go?
Well, I think it was spectacular. It was everything I've been looking for VPW for the longest time now, right? And I'm very glad that it was quite well received. I think you guys would agree that the
Massive
wrestlers took to grappling quite well, which again is also why it upsets me even more, because it's like, if they can do it so well,
We
why
could
did
have
they
done
do
this all along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But it's good, right?
We
Like
welcome the fact
yeah.
that
you
you
guys
guys
are-
are, that Adam's
yeah.
here
Yeah.
to
for
help
sure.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was so informative, and there was a lot of thinking. There was a lot of feedback in that little, I guess you could call it a seminar that we had on Saturday, and
I just love it. You know,
Yeah.
like the little physical biomechanical nuance that you taught us, right?
yeah,
Push against the other guy so he pushes back, and then you yank him.
like get a
Ah,
stimulus.
that's such a simple
You
idea,
get a
but it's
reaction, and then
brilliant.
you know make your move accordingly. You can induce a reaction out of somebody, right? Or even the minutia of like, oh, you know, as you get the snap down, you block the guy's elbow so he doesn't, you know, wrap his arm around your leg, right? These are the little things that matter, right, in our sport. And I think it's a wonder that finally VPW is getting what it deserves.
Hey, that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And you guys got to say that impressed us with your ability, but also your passion to learn.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you guys improved so fast throughout the course of an hour and minutes.
Mm.
It was incredible, and we're really excited to.
It was only an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We felt like we learned so much.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
An hour and 15 minutes is all it was. It's very simple techniques. The
Yeah.
concept basically.
Yeah.
You can see this from all the way up to Olympic freestyle wrestling.
Mm.
Push pull,
Right.
because you're just trying to get that reaction.
Yeah.
You just push pull. The Russians are so good at it.
Yeah.
Push pull. And now you just tiny movement of a
Yep.
centimeter, and the guy goes flying.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, and that's all it is: push pull, push pull, push pull.
Yeah.
And you see it exaggerated in your shows where it's going against the tightrope.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Yeah.
but I think that you guys can now. You have you're starting to understand the connection, and you're fully embrace it.
Yeah.
And
That's gonna make more compelling visuals
Yeah.
for sure.
I love it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's incredible that we've all discovered this relationship between wrestling,
Yeah.
professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You guys do, and also the UFC.
Yeah.
In terms of, it's a lot of sports entertainment and professional wrestling scene.
Yeah.
So great.
It makes me very happy
Yeah.
that we were all very fortunate to have lucked into this with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it is, if I may say myself, it is my passion, my life passion to extract potential from people in grappling
Yeah.
and see them realize that too.
Mm.
Because when I was young, wrestling changed my life, and I see grappling here in Vietnam the best place to reveal someone's potential and see them do it in competition or in a show or something like that. There's really nothing that makes me happier than training with a student who at first didn't know what their potential was and see them realize their potential
Yes.
in a show, at a grappling tournament, in a match, in a super fight, wherever that is. That's literally why we do what we do.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
And you can feel, like we had a student this morning from Italy who
Right.
came to the class, never grappled before in his entire life. And
Right.
you can see all of these just clicking in his mind. He's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this
Mm.
is happening. Right? There's nothing more beautiful than that
Yeah.
to me. That being what do you see you as a grappler moving forward? What is your involvement? What do you see potential for yourself?
Well, for me personally, I definitely want to, as I've said, push for more grappling in VPW. This is because I want to fight against VPW wrestlers with more grappling. I think some of my favorite matches that I've had in VPW are the ones where I wrestle with people that have sort of more of an edge for that kind of style of grappling.
Yeah. It's just more interesting.
It's just more interesting to watch and to be there and go through those movements with them. And it's like a game of chess, right? I'm sure you know how it feels. But it's very fast chess. And yeah, definitely more of that in VPW. But outside of VPW, I can definitely see myself training more seriously in grappling. And that's both in like the ground game, what with the submissions and positioning, but also I'm, grip fighting, hand fighting, and all the takedown stuff. I want to get better at that too. It's just, there's not a lot of that being shown right now in VPW. And, I want to be at the forefront of that cause. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Well said.
Yeah. Starting a movement.
Yeah.
Or adding to a larger.
Yes.
What about you?
I don't think I could have said it better than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, what are the chances that either one of you will compete in grappling match competition?
I can see myself.
I believe that could happen.
Yeah, I could see myself.
I
I
honestly
might,
believe
I
that
might
could
show
happen.
up in an open mat somewhere.
Yeah.
You never know. All right.
Yeah.
If you ever want a coach to take you from where you're at now to winning a match or a competition anywhere,
For
you wanna
sure.
find
That's
us.
Yeah.
definitely happening.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, what is next for the Venom Shank?
What's next for the Venom Shank Twins? Well, we regret to say that we've been a bit of a downturn ever since we lost the tag team championships at VPW.
Which,
So-
by the way, I will say is we got screwed by management.
right, yeah,
For context, we were doing so well with that championship reign. We've been defending every match we've ever had with both domestic and international talent.
the moment we decided to be generous
And we host an open challenge, right?
for a good old 2v2 tag team match, a third tag team showed up and just ruined the format. And then
Yeah.
and then the
They
worst
took it
came
away
true.
from us. Yeah.
But I think that we just need to find another win to get our footing back.
I think all this
So
extra
it's gonna
grappling
be-
work is going to make all the difference. Yeah.
At the next event, VPW Raw Hallows Eve, October 26th at the VAIB studio. It's going to be a Saturday night on Halloween.
We don't know who we're going to face yet. But I
But
believe we'll get the jump
That'll
done.
be the comeback.
Tell us about this upcoming event.
Right. VPW Brawl Hallows Eve. What's the big sell? Well, for one, it's a very how do I say, colorful event. It's our annual Halloween show. There's going to be a lot
There's
of
going to be people dressing up.
yeah. Going to be a lot of theatrics and showmanship, more than what we normally see, and we already see quite a bit with our regular shows.
You're going to see wrestlers dressing up as well. You might see a character from a certain movie, from a cartoon, from a comic.
You're welcome to bring your own costumes. Actually, I think we have a little competition every year.
Yeah, to see who's got the best costume.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun night that night. Not for the losers against Venom Shank, of course. But yeah, stay tuned. October 26th is going to be a wild night.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of shows, we hope that you guys can attend our upcoming flagship event,
Yes.
Saigon Super Fights.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, I've been waiting to hear about it.
At
Yeah.
Dragon MMA. And this is going to be the most exciting grappling event that's ever been hosted here in Vietnam, with the largest prize pool, the largest purses ever, with 45 million Vietnamese dong going to prize winners.
That's awesome.
Huge.
Yeah.
And 8 free registrations to international tournaments here in Southeast Asia from our sponsors, ADCC Thailand, ADCC Malaysia, and ASJJF Malaysia. We thank you guys so much for supporting the growth of grappling here in Vietnam. And now we're starting to see how we're starting to influence and partner with the live sports entertainment scene, such as the Venom Shank brothers and the wrestlers at Vietnam Pro Wrestling here in Saigon, Vietnam.
Well said. That's very important work you're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. Hey, we're just glad to partner with guys like you and Carrie and Jody.
Yeah.
And we even were able to meet some of your amazing loyal fans. You know, we're all part of all of this.
Yes.
Right. And we have so much opportunity here in Vietnam. There's such amazing people.
You already know the US dollar is not doing great. But most people don't stop to consider that this means your stable coins are also hurting. But what if you had a stable coin that could preserve your purchasing power instead of burning it in a dumpster? Meet Silk. It actually beat USD by 9.5% in the last year. Did we mention it's a private stablecoin? So you can save, earn yield, and even spend with privacy. Through our partners, spend Silk on mobile anywhere that has tap to pay. Resist inflation with privacy. Visit the app today to get Silk or reach the support team.
We don't know who we'll be fighting next, but yeah, so that's just going to be it.
I feel sorry for those guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that ring.
Actually, I think I want to address VTX.
Oh, you're right.
The
Okay.
current VPW tag team champions. I don't know whether you guys will hold on to those belts by the time we come back. But I sure as hell want you to hold on, because I think you took that away from us in a most disrespectful and, let's just say, unfair, that's putting it lightly, manner. Okay?
We never crossed paths with them in any other match.
Yeah. We've never stepped on their toes. We've never tried to stab them in the back, screw them over. And
Admittedly, while they were champions back then, when we were just watching, you guys were fantastic beasts in that wrestling ring as a tag team.
we had a lot of respect for the craftiness, the intellect that you all displayed. But we never thought that we'd cross paths in this manner. And so now that you've decided to give us some trouble, we sure hope we can take the belts back away from none other than you two.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, cannot wait to see that match. And I feel sorry for those guys. They have no idea what's coming with your updated training routine.
Exactly.
Now you're training with some of the best grapplers here in
Yeah.
Southeast Asia. What's going to happen, guys?
Yeah.
We'll see on October 20th.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you guys for coming to the show. I would apologize for those sunglasses, but that was intentional.
Mm.
But you know,
You got a lot of nerve.